Marvel Rivals is one of the newest games on the scene, and I've been playing it non-stop. Honestly, it feels like a breath of fresh air in a gaming landscape that's gotten pretty stale recently. Fast-paced action, iconic characters, and gameplay that's just plain fun. What's not to love? The question we're getting into today is, does Marvel Rivals have what it takes to cement itself as a long-term gaming giant? Can it rise to the ranks of games like Fortnite, League of Legends, or Call of Duty? And if so, how long can Marvel Rivals realistically hold that momentum? Let's all break it down together, the good, the bad, and what could it take to make or break this game. So grab your shield, hammer, or web shooters, let's get into it, Dizzy Gang. Let's start with gameplay. If you've played it, you already know. Marvel Rivals just feels plain good. The controls are super tight, the mechanics are fast and really responsive, and every match throws you straight into the action. What makes it even better is the character roster. Playing as your favorite superheroes and villains, whether it's Spider-Man, Hulk, or even more niche characters like Jeff the Landshark, it's such a cool experience, and not just about picking a fighter, it's about stepping into their whole world. The gameplay really reflects that. Spider-Man's quick, web-based movement feels completely different from the brute force of Hulk or the precision of Hawkeye. Each character feels really unique, and I think that's why the movies really took off too. Also, the controls are really intuitive, so it doesn't really feel like a chore to learn someone new. I also love how polished the overall experience is. The graphics are stunning, with vibrant colors and detailed character models that bring the Marvel universe to life. The sound design, on point. Whether it's the thud of Captain America's shield or Thor summoning lightning, the audio adds that extra layer of immersion. Also, did I mention that Marvel Rivals is free? For the level of quality that the game offers, it's honestly pretty wild that you can just download and start playing right away without spending a dime. Now, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of team-based games out there, so what makes Marvel Rivals stand out? I know a lot of people compare this game to Overwatch, but for me, it's the accessibility. The game is incredibly noob-friendly. You don't have to spend hours watching tutorials or figuring out complicated mechanics with different characters. Why? Because everyone already knows these characters. You don't really need to explain that Captain America uses a shield or Iron Man flies. That familiarity lowers the learning curve and makes it super easy for anyone to jump in. At the same time, the game offers depth for players who want it. The more you play, the more you start noticing strategies, synergies between heroes, and subtle ways to outplay your opponents. It strikes that perfect balance between casual fun and competitive depth, which is exactly what you want in a long-term title. We can't talk about Marvel Rivals without talking about the Marvel brand itself. Let's be real, Marvel is a global juggernaut. The Avengers, Spider-Man, Black Panther, these are characters that people all over the world know and love. This gives Marvel Rivals a massive head start compared to other games. The instant recognition of these characters draws people in, even if they wouldn't normally try this type of game. I know that's literally exactly what happened to me because, as you can tell by my channel, I'm a Call of Duty guy, but after playing this game, it's really fun. And to a lot of people, whether they'd admit it or not, it's not just a game, it's a chance to step into the shoes of your favorite superheroes. The potential for expansion in this game is absolutely huge. Marvel has an insane roster of characters to pull from, and they could literally keep adding new ones for years and years, and probably forever. Imagine playing as the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, or even more niche characters like Moon Knight or Daredevil. Some of these characters are already in, and as you can see, they're already adding more characters. It's a formula similar to League of Legends, where new champions keep the game fresh. With Marvel's massive library, the possibilities are nearly endless, and technically they could always just create new characters infinitely. One of the most exciting things about Marvel Rivals right now is the community. The player base is growing fast and the buzz around the game is real. Hype among top streamers and content creators are playing it non-stop, which is a huge deal for any game trying to establish itself. What really stood out to me is how developers are handling things. Updates are rolling out pretty quickly and they seem to be listening to player feedback more than other games, and Call of Duty. Whether it's balancing adjustments, bug fixes, or new content, they're keeping the game pretty fresh and giving players reasons to stick around. That said, let's get into some of the negatives. The community definitely has some complaints, myself included. The loading times can be brutal for this game. I've been in multiple scenarios where I get stuck at 99% way too many times when I'm loading in. This leads me to load into matches super late, even sometimes missing the time and literally lagging out. It's not just me either. I've seen tons of people online, especially on Reddit, complaining about the same thing. Whether it's my aging 3060 and Ryzen chip, we'll never know. But it could be a server-side issue or something that the devs just need to fix ASAP. There's also things where people turn off mouse acceleration in the game files, but maybe they should just put that in the game. That being said, the whole negatives really aren't that long of a list, but if you have any negatives, let me know. Let's move on to the competitive scene. This is something that Marvel Rivals could really lean on to give it some serious staying power. The competitive scene right now, they have rank mode, which is really solid. Matchmaking feels fair, and the system is well designed to reward skill while still being accessible to everybody. There is a huge potential for esports in this game. Imagine high-stakes tournaments with players representing their favorite Marvel heroes. The hype would be absolutely insane. Esports has become a crucial part of games' longevity. Look at titles like Valorant or Fortnite. Their competitive scenes keep the games relevant and attract new players. If Marvel Rivals can build a strong esports community, it could really solidify its place as a long-term title. So, what could go wrong? Of course, there's always the risk that things could go sideways, especially for a game this big. Now, the biggest threat, in my opinion, is balancing. The game is in a good spot right now, but if the devs start over-adjusting characters or introducing more broken mechanics, it could frustrate players and drive them away. Especially when you keep adding more characters, it's going to get a little more complicated to keep everything balanced. Another potential issue is relevant to any game. It's stagnation. If updates slow down or the game starts to feel repetitive, players might lose interest. Marvel Rivals has a lot going for it, but keeping that momentum will require consistent effort from the devs. My final verdict. So, will Marvel Rivals become a top-tier, long-term title? I think it has all the ingredients to make it happen. The gameplay is fun, the updates are consistent, and the Marvel IP is an absolute powerhouse. Second to none, really. Sure, there are some issues like loading times and minor bugs, but they're fixable. For me, Marvel Rivals is already a win. It's one of the most enjoyable games I've played in a long while. And that's saying something because I'm really picky with my games. I'm excited to see the direction that Marvel Rivals goes. And I think with the right balance of updates, community engagement, and competitive support, I think this game could easily join the ranks of Fortnite or League of Legends. But hey, that's just my take. What about you? Have you played Marvel Rivals yet? Do you think it has what it takes to stick around, or is it just another flash in the pan? Let me know, because that last joke was written by ChatGPT, so it was pretty bad. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm a YouTuber that's really just trying to get to 500 subscribers, and I'd really appreciate it if you just took the time out of your day and just clicked that real quick. I hope you stick around for more content. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to watch. I'm going to be posting about Marvel Rivals, I think, a lot more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Dizzy Squad out.